Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Today, I'm here for another WIP and chat so I can share with you some of what's going on in my world. If you're new here, welcome. WIP and chat, WIP stands for work in progress, and chat stands for me because I'm going to be chatting while I work on my current work in progress, which is from Oroloa and is entitled Sweetie. And I will try to remember to stick a card up in the corner so that you can check out the unboxing of this one if you haven't seen it already. So far, just having completed this little section, I'm pretty impressed. I think the drills are a nice quality, but I've only done this little section, so we'll see. So I'm just going to jump in while I chat and see how far I get. So, let's see. What's going on with me? Well, I ended up not having an MRI, so I'm happy with that. I am currently in physical therapy for my knee issues, and we will see how I do. It's already feeling much, much, much better after just a couple of sessions. And so I'm hopeful that things will be back on track for me physically. So my husband has been back for a week from the hurricanes, so that's been nice to have him back at home. And these last couple of days have just kind of been a whirlwind. Lots of things going on at work, lots of things going on in my personal life. So some good, some bad. A mix, which is okay, right? If everything is always good, you wouldn't know when to appreciate. Did I say that right? If everything is always good, then it's hard to appreciate, right? So, not that I want bad times, but bad times make it so you can really appreciate the good times. So, just lots going on. Trying to get my youngest set up so that he can do his degree online, so that if and when we move, it won't matter where we're at. His schooling will be able to continue uninterrupted, which it looks like we're going to be able to do that. So yay, that's a load off of my mind. He's over halfway through because he took some dual credit courses when he was in high school. So he's kind of ahead of the curve here, which is always nice. And might even be able to get done early, which would be good. And also, again, crossing my fingers that we can get him through all of that without him needing to take out any student loans so that he has no student debt when he graduates. So that's awesome. We finally managed to pay off my husband's car. I think I mentioned last time that we were trying to do that. So all good. And now we can start making plans for the rest of our future. I think I've mentioned before that we at some point want to move up to Canada. Now we're trying to decide whether we're going to stay where we are currently, whether we want to sell our current home and buy something a bit smaller and easier to maintain so that we could perhaps maintain a residence in both places, which would be nice and make things easier in a lot of different ways for various reasons. But we're still pursuing all of that. We're not sure. So, but today was a busy morning. He got off work, or my husband got off work early yesterday, so we got a lot of running around that we normally do today. Got done yesterday, so my days feel kind of off. I'm currently trying to film this while everybody in the house is busy doing something else. And hopefully I won't get interrupted. And speaking of which, I forgot to put my phone on silent, so let me just do that really quick. Because if I don't do that, somebody will call or text or something. So yesterday was kind of a roller coaster day for me. I went into work to get some things done in preparation for next week, which I don't always do, but I'm glad I decided to go in yesterday. There was a lot of things happening at work that were kind of crazy, and everything eventually got worked out, but sometimes things just make no sense, you know? I guess whenever bureaucracies get involved, things just get kind of crazy because a lot of things don't make any sense. And that's just the way that you have to do them because that's the way some entity tells you that you have to get it done. So, and it's football season again. So, of course, my husband is watching all kinds of football. And not that I mind that. He'll watch the football game while I sit and diamond paint, so that's okay. I've just been very busy. It's been interesting. I finally finished Diana. If you didn't see the finish of that, I will again stick a card up in the corner so you can check her out. Such a kind of weight off of my shoulders to finally have her finished. And not that she was a burden or anything, just that it was just kind of a weight on my shoulders because I wanted to get it finished. I wanted to see what she was going to look like finished. But just such a massive project that, yeah, I mean, I can see how people can get burnt out. I definitely see why some people don't like confetti. I wouldn't say that I want to do confetti all the time. I don't mind it. I'm happy to have a mix. In fact, I probably prefer having some confetti to everything being all color blocking. Color blocking is nice for when you need a break from the confetti, but I think I would prefer that I have both options in one canvas. Just because, even though I don't really do that a whole lot because of the way things have to run for the YouTube channel, when I first started diamond painting, you know, I did a kit, I finished it. I started a new kit, I finished it. I started a new kit, etc., etc. Now it's more like unbox 3 or 4 things, start 1 or 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 things. Work on 1, 2, 3 or 4 things. Sometimes work on 1 thing and put away 2, 3, and 4. So that I can get something done so I've got something to show besides just unboxings and whatnot. So yeah, it's just been interesting to finally get her finished. And, you know, one, she's not hanging around in my craft room anymore, kind of, you know, in my face going, oh, I should work on this. So that's been nice. My craft room actually feels a lot bigger because she's not hanging around now. I don't think I realized quite how big she was until I mean, I, you know, put her on my dining room table and stuff, but I don't think until I hung her on the wall, actually, that I realized how actually big she was, you know, hanging her next to some of our other paintings and things on our walls. So, and it's kind of funny too, because I've been very resistant to putting up new things on our walls because, you know, at some point in the near future, I'm hoping in the next 6 to 8 months, we'll be moving. And so then, you know, I don't want to put up so much stuff that I got to then take everything down. That's part of the daunting thing about thinking about moving is like, ugh, do we really want to have a house here and a house there, and we've got to move house here and then also move house there? So we're still not quite sure what the plan is yet, but we'll figure it out. So we're at least taking steps along the process of it, which is good because it's kind of felt like we were stuck for a while. So, but now I feel like we can, like I said, take some steps and make some progress. So that's good. So anyway, finally getting her finished has just been kind of such a weight off of my mind in a lot of ways that now I feel like I can be more productive about other things, which seems kind of crazy because it's not like I wasn't being productive working on her. I did with that particular canvas. I started her in May, and then I think around beginning of July, I kind of set her aside. I was working on the Lenore for the JBG along in July, and then I wanted to do Drills and Chills in September, and things just kind of she kept getting put off and put off and put off, and I thought I'm gonna have to get her back out and just make her so she's kind of in the way to force myself to finish it. Because, you know, even though she was hanging up and kind of in my face, it was still too easy to just kind of ignore that she was hanging there. So even though it was kind of obnoxious to have to take over my dining room table again, I did it for a couple of weeks while my husband was gone, and really only for 1 week while he was back. So we have our dining room table back, which is nice. And she is, like I said, framed and hung up on the wall. So you guys will be seeing the framing and the dekitting videos shortly. I've got to do some more work before I can dekit her. I've got to do some more work on my spare storage. I have decided how I want to proceed with my spare storage because I had a question of what I wanted to do with like my special drills and things like that. And I finally made some decisions and figured out which way I think works the best for me. So, which may not be how other people would do it, but it's the way that makes the most sense to me. So that's what I'm going to do because it's my diamond painting, right? So, once I get that kind of filmed and ready to go so that you guys can see it, you know, you guys can look at it and see if it's something that makes sense to you and the way that you work in diamond paint. Or, you know, feel free to take the pieces that you think work for you and ignore the ones that don't. That's kind of what I tell everyone, you know, when you're crafting, whatever you're crafting, whether it's diamond painting or something else, you know, you have to learn to do the things that make the most sense to you and ignore the things that don't, because just because it worked for someone else does not mean that it's going to work for you. And that's kind of a lesson I've had to learn as I go along, because I think, oh, well, this is how somebody else is doing it. I need to do exactly like that. And then I get frustrated with the process because how they do it just doesn't make sense for the way that I work. You know, all of our brains work differently. And so trying to force yourself to do something, you know, that just doesn't make sense to you often just doesn't work in the long run. Sometimes it's just that we need to get used to it, but sometimes it's just that it doesn't work. So now, one of the things I hope I remember to mention when I'm reviewing this canvas is that I have, for whatever reason, like this symbol here on my stickers is a brown color, but on my canvas it is green. So I don't know if when they printed this particular canvas, it was the ink was running out and so the colors aren't quite true. I don't know if that's just something weird, but this is not the only color. Like this green Z also shows as green, but on the stickers is also, and the drills, the sticker and the drills are a brown color. Some of them are fine, but some of them are weird. And so sometimes it takes me a bit to find the color because, like when I was searching for this one, I'm looking for a green diamond and it's actually a brown diamond on the sticker. So until I've done a bit more on this kit, I just need to kind of get used to where everything goes. And it's amazing how quickly your brain does that. For instance, on my Diana, 250 colors is a lot. And I had 6 different pieces of storage that I was working with for her. But even after just, 5 or 6 hours of working on her, I learned, okay, this color is in this piece of storage, this color should be in this one, et cetera, et cetera. And so I actually spent way less time hunting around for colors than I thought I would once I got started working on her. So if you're intimidated by the number of colors, thinking that it will be too confusing, it's really not. And you can also, arrange things the way, again, that makes the most sense to you. So I pretty much left mine, even with the 250 colors, arranged in DMC order because that made the most sense to me. But I also know there are people who organized it by symbol, people who organized it by color. And so again, do whatever makes the most sense to you. Because whatever makes the most sense to you and makes it easier for you is going to be the system that you like and a system that makes it easier for you to work. Because I'm all about not frustrating myself when I'm crafting. There are so many other problems that you can run into that, doing things to make it easier for yourself is just kind of a no-brainer sometimes. But I also know sometimes there's things that you don't think of until you see someone else doing them and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of doing it like that? That would make it so much simpler. So I think that's one of the things I like about Instagram is that I can see not only a whole bunch of cute diamond paintings all at once because it is so visual, but also people post, little tips and tricks that they've found. Or I'll see someone's setup and think, oh, maybe I should try that. Of course, there are plenty of people that I see that I'm also like, ugh, I could never set that up. That's just an accident waiting to happen as far as I'm concerned. Like, I watch these people with their stackable towers of trays so that they, have all of their colors out at once and they can just pull a tray. And I suppose that makes it faster to diamond paint. I mean, I can see how that saves time over, pouring out drills, pouring drills back in like I do, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I'm way too clumsy to have a setup like that. Literally, if I had a setup like that, I would be terrified the entire time that me or someone else would accidentally walk by and knock the whole thing over, and I would be, doing 92,000 pickup drill games because everything would be on the floor. So even though it may not necessarily be the fastest way, this way is the way that makes sense for me and makes me happy while I'm diamond painting. And so that's what I'm going to do. And like I said, if it doesn't make sense for you, then don't do it. Just because they tell you, oh, this way is the best way, it might be the best way for them, doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way for you. And I think sometimes we get all caught up in, the experts that are diamond painting experts tell us that, well, you should do it this way. And so we feel like we have to do it that way. And again, you do what works for you. It's your diamond painting, it's your crafting, it's your time, it's your effort. Do it the way that makes the most sense to you. And just leave it at that, It's all good. As long as you're progressing at a rate that makes you happy, then it's all good. So, I mean, I think we all want to diamond paint faster, of course, because there's so many cute canvases out there. Who doesn't want to diamond paint faster so that you can do more cute things? But I also try to remember, this is a process. I'm doing this for relaxation and enjoyment. And if I'm rushing to get through everything, then I'm probably not enjoying it as much as I could. So I want to just take my time and enjoy it, So I mean, I probably could diamond paint faster if I didn't do these whip-in chats, because, you know, trying to do this and talk at the same time is not always the most conducive to working your quickest. But I enjoy doing these, so I'm going to keep doing them, even if that means that I'm a little bit slower sometimes. That's okay with me. So I want to enjoy the process, right? Life's about the journey, not the destination. Do I throw out enough of those weird random quotes during all of these whip-in chats? So many quotes and sayings and cliches that we live our lives by sometimes. It's kind of crazy. What else can I talk about? Because once again, I've come into this whip-in chat without any plans. My husband and I were having a conversation today about, you know, I need to remember that once we move up to Canada, I'll be considered international for a lot of these companies, and so our shipping is going to be more expensive. And for now, the plan is that my oldest is going to stay here. And I was like, well, we'll just have them ship stuff to us. Well, that's still going to be expensive. Well, maybe. But I said, well, the alternative is I can just buy all of them now, and then I will already have them in my possession when I move up there. And I mean, who am I kidding? I already own enough diamond painting kits to keep me busy probably till I'm dead. But never hurts to have more, right? Right? More is always good. So I was looking at some of Diamond Art Club's new releases. I've been trying to be really good. I have purchased, I think I said in a previous video, I have purchased some new diamond paintings this month, but not very many. And so I think probably under $50, $60 total for the month I've spent, which is pretty good for me, considering there's been a couple months when I spent a couple $100. So, and I still have some kits that I've ordered that are on their way to me that haven't reached me yet. So, you know, that's part of it too. I think the Amazon part for me, I like because I get them much faster than having to wait for some of these other companies. And it's not that I mind waiting, but you know, getting happy mail is always good, right? I got some stuff in the mail today that is going to let me finish doing some of the projects that I want to share with you guys. I told you I'm working on a way to set up my spare storage so that I can de-kit Diana and make some sense out of all of the ABs I own and all my special drills and things like that. And so, but I needed some supplies for that, so I got some of those. I went ahead and bought myself a fancy label maker on Amazon that I'm going to use for work as well as here at home. So I was able to justify that expense to myself that way because I do intend to use it at work as well. 2 summers ago at work, we spent a lot of time kind of rearranging and decluttering where I work, which hadn't been done in, well, pretty much ever. And so not only did we, you know, give away a whole bunch of stuff that we weren't using or we didn't need or whatever, we moved a bunch of things around because it just, the way they were stored didn't make sense to me. And since I'm now in charge of a bunch of that, I wanted it set up the way that made sense to me. So things have been moved around, and that has been an issue for some of the other employees because I moved everything around. So everything is not where they remember it being. And also, you know, when we have substitutes and things, it would just make it easier for them to find if certain things were labeled. So I'm going to be using it to do that at work. So hopefully that will be helpful for the people at work, but I need to figure out how to use this fancy schmancy labeler before I take it to work. So I thought I would share that with you guys because I do intend to use it some here at home as well. So I need to figure out how it works, and I thought maybe I would share that with you guys in case any of you were interested in the same thing. I've never had a labeler before. So, I mean, other than, gosh, I think when I was young, my parents had one of those old, you know, the circle ones that had like the tape and it actually punched it in and made it look raised. I don't even know. Is that what they were called? A labeler? Is that what they were called back then? I don't know. Now they have fancy schmancy ones that look like little handheld calculators that are basically little computers that you can program. And so like it has a little keyboard on it and everything. So I need to learn how to use that before I take it to work. So again, I gotta say, I'm really surprised and happy with how nicely these drills are going together. I'm kind of concerned because I feel like I'm having some popping issues over here. Like I'll make them lay down and then they pop back up, but they're fitting so nicely together. I don't know if I just haven't really had any ones like that before. But see, like they feel like they're laying down nicely now, but then I don't know, when I go over them with my little rolling pin, like they feel like they're all laying flat. So I don't know. Ooh, and I get to use another one of my ABs. This kit came with 2 ABs. So let's try this with this pin and see if I need to go get. I didn't bring my pretty placer in here, which is normally what I use when I'm doing ABs, just because ABs and wax sometimes don't play well together. I find that the ABs a lot of times will pull the wax out of my pen if I'm just using the pink wax, which I am today because I'm lazy and I didn't load my pen with glue dots like I normally do. So that worked okay. I like these ABs. The ABs are nice too. It is taking me a while to get used to kind of what these symbols are and what colors I need to pull, but I'm getting there. Today is kind of a work day for me. Let's see, I've been doing laundry, I paid bills, you know, a lot of that household stuff that you have to take care of as a mom. And then I was doing some paperwork for other things, trying to get some stuff for YouTube done. I need to get this filmed, obviously, and I need to do some editing and some uploading. I've done some of that already. So I did spend some time last week cleaning up my crafting area, and that has helped my mindset immensely. There were just too many things laying around on the ground, and it was starting to make me crazy. And it's funny how you don't realize some of that stuff is actually having an effect on you mentally. Like it wasn't until I cleaned it up that I was like, oh, suddenly, okay, I feel lots better. I feel like I can tackle things now. Whereas before I was just kind of getting overwhelmed and frustrated. So I do feel like I've been productive yesterday and today. So that's good. And I hope that continues because I do have several things that I want to get done that are on my to-do list. I stopped making a to-do list for a while because I read somewhere that, you know, you could stress yourself out with your to-do lists because, you know, you're constantly, oh, okay, I need to get this done. I need to get this done. For me, though, even though there is part of that, there is some satisfaction in okay, I get to mark this off of my to-do list because I've finished it. So for me, I think the satisfaction of marking it off outweighs the anxiety caused by it's still on my list. And again, that may not be true for everyone. So, by all means, if to-do lists stress you out, don't use them. But I find I actually do better. Just because it kind of makes me prioritize. Even if I don't get the whole list finished, I can at least tell myself, okay, I got, this many things done off the list. Back when I was really, really struggling, someone gave me a piece of advice and they said, if you're having trouble focusing, just pick 3 things. 3 things a day that you can get done. And it doesn't matter what those things are. It could be as simple as, hey, I brushed my teeth, I showered, and I brushed my hair today. Those were my 3 things today. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It really does help. And then if you can manage those 3 things, then you're like, ooh, I managed those 3 things. And then for me, it gave me the ability to say, okay, I managed those 3 things. Can I manage anything else today? And then anything else that I managed was gravy, and I got to feel even better because I managed extra things that weren't even on my list. But even if I didn't, even if I only managed those 3 things, I managed those 3 things. And it really did help. So, Amy, wherever you are, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I still have housekeeping I need to do. I had to buy a new vacuum cleaner. My vacuum cleaner broke while my husband was down working the hurricane, because of course it did. And so we bought a new one. It's nice. I really like it. It works really well. My husband came home because it happened, of course, I bought the new one and then like 2 days later he was home. And of course he comes home, looks at it, fiddles with it, and now it works perfectly. So we were able to get rid of our old vacuum cleaner that I kept downstairs for cleaning in the basement. So, but so irritating that something breaks. And I knew what was wrong with it. I just couldn't figure out how to fix it. And then he comes home and he's like, oh, well, here's your issue. And I'm like, ugh. And I knew what the issue was, and I had tried the fix that he tried, but apparently he's just that little bit stronger than I am and was able to make the fix stay where I wasn't. So, but we got rid of our old vacuum, which I didn't like anyway, and now we have 2 decent ones, so I guess it's all good. Even if it was frustrating to me. So, trying to see if I have all of these. Oh, I only need 3 of these. All of these. Oh, I did need 4. Gosh darn it. So, upcoming, I'm going to be working on this kit, obviously. So you may see this kit in more than just today's WIP and Chat. I'm not quite sure how quickly I'm going to be able to get it done. The year is flying by since I've been back at work, and I feel like I'm falling behind at work there too. So part of today's to-do list is to get some things done that are work related. And I mean, I'm still way ahead of the schedule. Before the year started, I had already planned all the way through Christmas. But I would like to, before Christmas, have the rest of the year, 2022, planned out as well, so that kind of my free time can be spent, instead of working on lesson plans and things, can be spent being support for the teachers and kind of focusing on that as we go through the school year instead of, trying to do all of it, because admittedly sometimes that's difficult. So just gives me more peace of mind that, again, even if things get changed up, I at least have something in place. So I just finished, we're doing a new multicultural / diversity unit this year, which we've not done before. So I needed to kind of come up from scratch with those lesson plans. A lot of our lesson plans tend to be repeats from one year to the next, just because of the nature of the beast. I mean, same thing for any teacher. Obviously, you know, if you're an English teacher, you're teaching the same sort of English skills and concepts every year. As kindergarten teachers, we're teaching the same sort of skills and concepts every year as well. We always are teaching shapes and colors and numbers and letters. And so, you know, some of those things tend to be repeats. But I'm also trying to come up with some new and different themes that we've not done before, just to add some variety for our parents and students. So, and it's fun. It's fun to not work on the same thing all the time. It's fun for me as a teacher as well to kind of work on things that we've not done before. So, for instance, last year we did a new themed unit on robots, which the kids just absolutely loved. We capped off the week by having the older kids in the program build robots. And we just, you know, periodically we were collecting boxes and tubes and, you know, things that we thought the kids would find useful in building the robots. And, you know, I had hopes that the kids would be interested in it, but it just went off. It was so much more well received than I had ever anticipated and hoped for. The kids had an absolute blast building the robots. We had an absolute blast watching them have fun building the robots. And it was just so gratifying for me to see how well received it was as a unit. So we're going to be doing that again this year. And trying to see, I'd missed some of my little pound signs, hashtag signs, the kids would call them now. So okay, I've got all those. Now let's do the ampersands. So yeah, just trying to come up with themes. I've got one more week in January to do, which is going to be winter / ice / cold / like Arctic animals and things that I can fit in. And then we're going to do a week on Groundhog's Day and hibernation and shadows, which is always a lot of fun. We've done this unit before, and the kids always enjoy playing with shadows and light and things like that. So that will be fun. And then from there, I think we moved into Valentine's Day, and not sure what comes after that, but oh, and I just saw one that I missed. Why didn't you tell me, guys? It's right there and I missed it. So, and you know, ones that I've planned before always go faster than ones that we haven't done before. But like I said, I just kind of want to get some things down on paper so that I have some sort of a plan, and then I can go from there. And if I need to make adjustments as we go, I can, but at least I have something kind of to start with. So, because last year, being new to the position that I have, and it was a new position that had just been created, there really wasn't anything to go by, and so I basically was flying by the seat of my pants most of the year, which I do not like. While I do well, I think, with deadlines, sometimes I actually do my best work when I procrastinate. I still don't like doing it that way. If it was just me that was doing the lesson plans, then it would probably be fine. But when other people are planning, you know, I'm planning for other people as well as myself, it makes me anxious to not have everything kind of set up and ready to go so that other people could look at it. Because I'm a planner myself, and so I know if it was me, I would want to have something kind of set up so that I could kind of see where we're going and what we're going to be doing. And so I give myself anxiety, which sounds crazy, but I do. So if I just get it all done, so part of today and or tomorrow will be spent doing that as well. And now I'm trying to fit in physical therapy into all of that because, of course, I'm trying to avoid surgery and or any kind of invasive procedures to fix my knee. And I think I'm doing well so far. But, of course, you know, when it comes to physical therapy, you have to put in the work, right? It's not just going to heal itself. So I have exercises I have to do 3 times a day. I have physical therapy 3 times a week now. And while that's okay, that was my choice because, again, I'm trying to avoid any kind of invasive interventions. It's just more time out of my day that I'm trying to fit more things into. And I shouldn't complain. I mean, Lord knows I have it easier than a lot of people. I only work part-time. I don't work full-time, so I do have time. I'm not having to take off of work, thankfully. Luckily for me, the physical therapist that I'm seeing, the schedule works out so that I can see them at times when I'm not at work. And so I'm not having to take off time. And I mean, I could take the time off of work, but that makes it more difficult for my job because finding substitutes for anything right now is ridiculous. There are just tons of people looking for substitutes in education and coming up empty, sadly. So I'm trying to make it less work for them as well. So it's been interesting. Okay. Let's see, what color do I want to do next? Let's do these. I do like how my stickers look on these little bottles when I get it all put in my case and everything. I do like the way they look. Makes my little type A OCD heart happy to see everything so organized. So I think that's part of why I enjoy diamond painting as much as I do. You know, for me, just the process of diamond painting, you know, I'm putting these diamonds on the canvas. I'm kind of organizing the chaos. And then at the end of it, I have this beautiful picture. But the same goes for all of the pieces of it for me. You know, I enjoy kitting up. I enjoy the process of kind of organizing all of the drills into containers and things like that. I enjoy kitting down because I'm organizing all of my spare drills into my spare storage because I do intend to use them for projects at some point in the future. So I like organizing them that way as well. So, you know, finding the storage and finding things to share with you guys and organizing it all into videos that make sense and all of that, it just kind of all appeals to me. So, which I know is not true for everyone. I've seen people on Instagram complaining that, you know, they just want to diamond paint. They don't want to have to spend time kitting up or kitting down. And there's lots of people who don't bother, you know, kitting up in the way that I do. They just work, like, for example, straight from the baggies or whatever, which saves time. And, you know, that's not your thing. More power to you. I couldn't do that. Not just because of the organization aspect, but working from the baggies. I've tried it once or twice, and even on special projects, it sometimes makes me crazy. I do it for special projects just because they're so small. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense to spend time kitting up or kitting down, especially when you've only got, you know, oh gosh, I've got a whole 5 colors for this project, or I've got a whole 3 colors for this project, then I don't. But for like big projects like these, there's no way I could work from the baggies. It would make me crazy. For big projects like Diana, yeah, no way I could have worked from the bags for something like that. Also because, again, I'm messy and I would spill things everywhere. When I very first started diamond painting, I did work from the bags because I didn't really know any better. You know, that's what came with it, and so that's just how I did it. And I spilled stuff so many times and would get so frustrated having to clean up spills and things. I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. And then I started following some diamond painters on YouTube and things, and I was like, oh, containers, yes, this makes much more sense. And I think I've said before, I started out with the Tic Tac containers and just kind of moved on from there. The Tic Tac containers were better than baggies, but they are definitely not my preferred method. I used them again with Diana because I had so many containers of them and so many colors with her that it just made the most sense to do it that way with her. But even at that, not my preferred method of working. So, yeah, just needed to find a different way to do things, and I did. So, and hopefully as I find new ways to do things, I'm sharing them with you and they make sense to you so that you can work better and faster and with less frustration, because that's what I want from my tools. You know, it's all fine and dandy to have tools for the sake of having tools, but for me, again, it's not just about that. It's about having the best tools for the way that I work. Because again, the way that I work may not make the most sense to everybody else. So I feel like I should get a drink. My throat is getting kind of scratchy from all the talking. My oldest has been sick for almost a month now. She's got a cough that will not go away. I feel sorry for her, but she also doesn't want to take cough medicine or anything. So, you know, at some point I'm like, well, you have to want to change things. So, you know, you want to get any better, there are certain things you need to do. And if you're not going to do them, then I can't fix it. So it's been a weird month of health issues in our house. My oldest has been sick. I've had this ongoing issue with my knee. My youngest has had an ongoing issue with one of his toes. So, yeah, just, which is unusual for us. We don't really go to the doctor a whole lot. None of us do. So, for all of us to be having medical issues all at the same time is very unusual. So, hopefully, we're all on the road to getting better. So, my youngest today told me he thought he was coming down with something, and I was like, well, better get on that and start doing some preventative things if you don't want to get sick. I certainly don't want to get sick. It's hard enough staying healthy when you work with small children because they are nothing if not little germ factories. I think it's easy to forget when you don't work with small children that pretty much from birth to 4, anything they pick up goes in their mouth. So, yeah, sometimes they're kind of gross. So where is my little diamond symbol? I only have one of these. So let me just do that one since there's only one and get that out of the way in this little section. And then I will do G. I haven't done enough of this canvas. I have 2 or 3 colors where I have 2 bottles of the color. There's one color that I have 3 bottles of. I haven't got to those sections of the canvas yet. So like I'm saving this little, I'm calling it an R. It's not really an R, it's some kind of shape, like a right angle. So I can multi-place when I get to that, but I'm going to fill in some of this blue here first before I work on that one. Got some G's to do over here. Hopefully you guys can see everything that I'm doing. I did check my camera angle, but okay, let's see. And it sounds like everyone in my household is now stirring, so hopefully that's not making a bunch of background noise that you guys can hear, because I thought I'd be able to make it through before they all started getting up and around and about, but I guess I didn't get that lucky. Let's see. Let's pick this color. Do one of these blues. So, what are you guys working on? I know because we're getting close to Halloween, I've seen a whole bunch of Halloween releases. I wish some of these diamond painting companies would understand, you know, sometimes it takes a while to do some of these diamond paintings. And so, you know, like releasing them at the beginning of October for Halloween doesn't always leave everyone enough time to get everything done prior to Halloween. You know, us crafters need a little bit more lead time. Like I've seen people that are doing some releases for Christmas stuff right now, but some of these paintings are so big, there's no way I would be able to get them done before Christmas. So, and I mean, you know, obviously you can use them for more than 1 year or whatever, but still, we need more lead time. So, I still have 3 shipments, I think, of things that I've ordered that I'm still even waiting to get to me, much less even begin working on. So, yeah, having lead time is essential. So, like, I wish I would have seen some of these Halloween ones a couple of months ago, especially when you're talking about, you know, a lot of people participate in things like drills and chills. And, um, you know, I've already seen several, well, I mean, in July, I was seeing information about events in October. I'm already seeing information about events coming up in December and January. So yeah, for some of us, it'd be nice to have access to some of those and have them be released more than just the month of whatever the season or holiday or whatever is. Maybe that's a weird concept for the people who are doing the marketing and releases, but I mean, you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or, you know, any craft store in July and they've already got their Christmas stuff out. It's not like this is a new concept. So makers need time to make, right? It doesn't all come together instantaneously, because where would be the fun in that? So, plus I don't like feeling rushed when I'm trying to do things. Like, I think that was part of my frustration with Diana there at the end, was I think I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I just want to get her done because she's like this, you know, Not that it was a bad thing, but just that, it was constantly in the back of my mind, okay, I want to get this finished so I feel like I can move on to other projects. And, admittedly, that's all on me. No one made me buy that project. No one made me start that project, and I enjoyed it. But I can definitely see how people could get burnt out. So, I don't know what you're doing there, but stay where you were. So, anyway, so I would love to know what you guys are working on. Are you furiously trying to finish something for an upcoming holiday? Are you still working on drills and chills? Are you looking ahead to Christmas as well? What kind of things are you doing and working on? So, because like I said, that's one of my favorite things about Instagram is looking at other people's projects and seeing what they're working on, especially if it's something that, a lot of times when I go looking to purchase, well, admittedly, there are lots of things that I skip over because they are copyright issues, like I'm never going to do anything Disney on the channel or anything like that because of copyright issues. So there are just certain things that I won't do. So for that reason, I skip over them. But then, sometimes it's just that I don't even really kind of, how when you're looking for diamond paintings, you're just kind of, not even necessarily that you just have something in mind, but like a lot of times I'm just like, I want something to jump out at me. And it won't be, I'll pass a lot by until I see somebody else working on it. And then I'll think, oh, I've seen that one. Why didn't I think that was going to look that good? Why did I skip over that one? And so then I may go back and give it a second glance and or sometimes end up buying it because of the way that it looks. So I'm really, one of my favorites right now is kind of the stained glass look. I got one from Star Roar. I filmed the unboxing of it for you guys, but it ended up, something was wrong and the filming of it got corrupted, and I could go back and refilm the unboxing of it, but it just feels silly to kind of recreate things, and it's already open now, and so I was like, I'm just gonna, I won't share the unboxing of it with you, but I will share when I kit it up and everything. Anyway, it's a roundabout way of me telling you it's a stained glass type looking canvas, and it's a stock photo, and there's a stock photo artist who's been doing them, and I really, really like the style. In fact, I showed it to my sister and she liked it as well, so it's possible it may be a gift once I get it finished. I don't know. I really like it. I've had my eye on it for quite some time, and I finally bought it, so I don't know if I'm going to give it away yet. We'll see. It's one of those, I want to finish it and see how I feel about it. Sometimes I think I'm going to really, really like something, and then I get it finished, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay giving this one away. Or, I'll buy a canvas thinking, oh my gosh, I really, really, really want to do that one. And then it sits in my stash for 5 or 6 months. And then when I go to pull it out, I'm like, you know what? I changed my mind. I really don't want to do this one. So I will end up doing something else. So or sometimes I will end up giving them away in my random acts of kindness because, maybe they were an inexpensive kit that I got on Amazon or whatever, and I've just decided I have too many other things. I don't have time to do this one. And not that there's anything wrong with the kits, just that, I have so many projects. I have so many ideas percolating around in my brain that some days I don't know where to start. So okay, so that's all of those. All right, I think that's the last color I'm going to try and get done because it feels like there are too many people stirring in my house out and about, And I need to kind of wrap this up so that I'm not subjecting you to all of their noises. So I got about half of that section done, and I have this big section here that's going to go quickly because it'll be multi-placed, so that's good. I did get some progress made, which is always good. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you're working on, because I'd love to know what you guys are doing and what you find interesting and pretty in the diamond painting world. Also, before you go, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.